EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports.
Now last year's leading rusher in the NFL, this is Jonathan Taylor. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Jags, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
They go play action with Ryan.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. We'll call that a punt of 30. Officially, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At the 33-yard line.
Here's a second-year man from Clemson, Travis Etienne.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They're looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
From the 27, Ryan. And he's got Pierce. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Here's Ryan.
Looking for Pearson. He's got him. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alec Pierce, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And that's how you shake off the interception he threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Colts are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They go play action now. Ryan.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman.
And he's got it inside the 10.
And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10.
A big play there for Indy. 45 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the 5th touchdown, Colts. Matt Ryan, his 2nd touchdown pass of this opening quarter.
And the Colts have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Fields it right around the goal line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Hey, Delta! Hey, high 7!
On 2nd and 11 now. Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
They go play action with Lawrence.
This is caught. It's Kirk.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
These two teams, division rivals, of course, and you remember back to Week 18 last year, although Colts fans don't want to remember back to Week 18 last year. The Colts needed a win. And the Jags, they were kind of looking ahead to 2022. But the two-win Jags came up with one of the shockers of the season. They stunned the Colts 26-11 in Jacksonville. And that loss ultimately kept Indianapolis home for the playoffs.
Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On third down, Lawrence.
And Ingram hauls it in. Touchdown, Jaguars. Evan Ingram, 37 yards. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And that'll make our score 14-7.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. 23 yards, the final tally.
And there's a first down catch from Paris Campbell. What a welcome sign for Colts fans who've been waiting for this guy's eventual breakout. Came into the league as a second rounder in 2019 with almost 4.2 speed. Injuries, they've limited him to 15 games in 3 seasons, but the Colts still believe there's a star burner in there if he can stay out there for 17 games.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Play action, Ryan. And his throw here is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On third down, here's Taylor. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. They'll try and throw for him with Ryan. Able to find his man, Woods. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Gets this to Campbell out on the right side.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Ryan. Looking this time for Woods, and it's intercepted.
Picked by Chad Muma. And the Jaguars will take over here at their own 12-yard line. But turnovers, obviously, Charles, always costly. But man, when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the goal line, you really want him to be open. In this case, it cost him.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They go play action now. Lawrence.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
That's Jawan Taylor, the right tackle.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Hey, exit.
Now Lawrence.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The Jaguars at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Looking downfield for Jones.
Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Julian Blackman. And the Colts are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
Ryan.
Slant pass hauled in by Campbell.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
To the right side, this is Taylor. 44 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help the running game as well.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The end result, 21 yards. That's how you draw up the run-pass option right there. You get a chunk play out of it.
And you know quarterbacks love to throw the RPOs because oftentimes they're in-breaking routes, but receivers love it even more. The ball gets to them quickly, allows them to put some moves on.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Matt Ryan now 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And the Colts have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And it's now 21-7.
Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
Hey, go. Hurry.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And got his man, complete. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
I don't care what level of football you played. This one was a universal, wasn't it? When we were kids and we played touch football, remember we get in these positions and you just say, everybody go along and hope someone would come free.
Hey, you.
Throwing again here, it's Lawrence. Lawrence hit and the ball is free. And the Colts pick it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
So the completion good for just 3, and it'll be second down. And here comes the end around as Ryan will just leave this for his wideout. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. It's Ryan. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alec Pierce with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Colts have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Bravo.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Colts are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn. And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Ryan, he's going to let this one go deep. This is intercepted. picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football.
The Jaguars take over first down at the 46-yard line.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Lawrence.
They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Lawrence on 3rd down.
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
First and 10 to the 28-yard line.
Hey, go.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Colts are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports.
Take it in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
On the ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne.
That one a first down pickup of 8. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
And a powerful stiff arm. It frees him.
52 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Lawrence will throw.
Finds his tight end Ingram. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
Lawrence.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
And if we go back to the last series, remember, their coverage allowed them to get a turnover in the last drive, a takeaway, and that helped contribute to a sack on this one. I think maybe this quarterback's a little bit hesitant. Last time he turned it over, now he sees his zone coverage a little bit slow to get rid of the football.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play, but sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
Now Lawrence on 3rd and long.
Completes it to Evan Ingram. He's at the 30.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action from Jacksonville. From the gun, it's Lawrence.
And now here is another interception.
And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
61 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 2nd and a yard, Ryan. Campbell making the catch.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
A 5-yard gain on the play. And the Colts 1st down.
Well, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And this is caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
1st and goal, Indianapolis.
They'll look to run with Taylor. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Jonathan Taylor, his second rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. He's got a man complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. Open man right side is Ingram. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, now Lawrence. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Jaguars. Travis Etienne, 43 yards. And the Jaguars are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Ryan. And he's got Pierce. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So both teams trade touchdowns in the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Ryan. Delivers another one to Pierce. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. Now Ryan on 1st down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Running straight ahead, Taylor. 67 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They go play action with Ryan. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out, and the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs.
On first down, Lawrence.
Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. And a loose football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
So now our referee looking at the sideline saying, are you sure? But yes, this defense has accepted the penalty, so that means they will not take possession on the fumble recovery. We're not sure why in the world you do that, but that is apparently the decision.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked.
And the ball is free. Taylor lost it. And the Jags grab it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you give a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Now Lawrence.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And now here is another interception.
And the Colts are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Back to Taylor on 1st down.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On second down, it's Taylor. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. They'll try and throw for him with Ryan. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Down.
On play action, Lawrence steps away. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
On 2nd and 10, Lawrence. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
That's the gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Play action. It's Lawrence. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 37.
That's good for a
They go play action now. Lawrence. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 20-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. That's going to be caught by Kirk. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their 1st timeout as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Lawrence. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Calvin Ridley, his first touchdown of the new season.
And the Jaguars have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory.
Well, Charles, I mean, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb. One side lost this game because they turned the ball over 4 times, and that was just too much for them to overcome.
And that number might as well be in neon because you're exactly right. It just jumps up from the stat sheet. Your eyes go right to it. And with that many turnovers, they really played themselves out of this game. Too careless with the football too many times. That cost them the victory.
So for Indianapolis, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll fall to 1-1. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.